What you have just seen from Douglas County's ancient past will come alive for millions of new visitors. With the state's new regional tourism vision, imagine a tourism magnet unlike any other, a rare national archaeological treasure housed in a world-renowned museum, just a short walk from a Disney-styled destination youth sports village for regional and national tournaments. It's the Colorado Sports and Prehistoric Park, where young athletes, families, and spectators come, play, and stay in the lodging adjacent to the town center with shopping, dining, and entertainment, where the scientific community and tourists from around the globe come to experience a dig of Columbian mammoths and relics of prehistoric man. A blockbuster attraction that creates thousands of new jobs, millions of new visitors, and tens of millions in new sales tax revenue for the state of Colorado.
I'm Dennis Stanford. I'm Curator of Archaeology at the Smithsonian Institution. My main field of study is that of Paleo-Indian and New World origin. We have excavated in the 1960s and 1970s at Lamb Springs in Douglas County, Colorado. Lamb Springs is perhaps one of the more important sites in the United States because it has a complete record of the archaeological sequence, starting with the earliest, going right on up to the historic times. There are at least 26 mammoths that we're aware of still located underground there at Lamb Springs. We'll probably be able to put together a sequence of when humans first arrived in Colorado for sure, and perhaps give us some idea of what the earliest people were like who came to North America. And that's a major question because we don't know when people first came to the Americas, nor do we know where they came from. And I definitely think that it would be a place to put in a major ongoing excavation with a museum over the top that explains the prehistory of Colorado, environmental changes in Colorado. It could be a learning center and a major draw. Museums are important places for education, particularly for our young people. And we know here at the Museum of Natural History, we're the most visited museum in the world. It's amazing during the summer. You cannot walk across the rotunda by the crowds that are packed into the museums.
The Mammoth Site is located in Hot Springs, South Dakota, a town of 3,700 people. The Mammoth Site was discovered in 1974 during housing development, and since then we now have over 110,000 visitors per year. 94% of those come from out of state, including foreign countries. The international influence and the international visitors, scientists, students, families, has a big impact on our visitation at the Mammoth Site. The Mammoth Site employs 13 full-time and 37 part-time employees. Not only the Mammoth Site employees, but the other added employees with the restaurants, motels, convenience stores, etc. in town. It has a huge impact on Hot Springs and the Black Hills community.
Set in the spectacular red rocks of Roxborough, the 100-acre youth sports village will be a destination venue for tournaments, exhibition games, clinics, and camps. Similar in concept to ESPN's Wide World of Sports in Orlando, the Sports Village is projected to attract nearly 1 million players and spectators annually. It will share fields and facilities with the adjacent high school and middle school, and draw visitors into the town center for food, retail, and family fun.
The National Council of Youth Sports represents the 200 leading youth sports organizations in the United States. Almost 60 million young men and women who are playing sports from everywhere from the YMCAs to the church leagues all the way up to the sophisticated travel ball that you've heard about with the Amateur Athletic Union or United States Youth Soccer. What's happened is this trend of youth travel ball has forced communities to react, and that reaction is in the form of building more facilities or finding ways to maximize their existing facilities, possibly retrofit or renovate or add more fields. The National Council of Youth Sports is very interested and concerned that there's not enough quality facilities and therefore quality programming that might exist for our youth today. The need is specifically glaring out in the West. In the West, there's not as many multi-sports complexes as there are in the East. Specifically in the Mountain West area, we feel a need because the demographics are there, yet the programming opportunities are not as capable as we'd like to see that happen. This tournament business is very interesting. From volleyball to track and field to wrestling to basketball, all these types of sports are in need of more and more facilities. The sophistication of these tournaments is forcing us to find more professional level involvement and engagement for the programming of the events.
As the chair of the Denver Sports Commission, I have really become more and more aware of the growing need to provide venues for amateur athletic opportunities coming to the Denver metro area. We say at Denver Sports that our mission is about elevating sports to really impact the economic and social vitality of our area. The economic impact around youth sports is growing. We're seeing that with the NCAA Women's National Championship being played here early April. What that means to our city is we will have not only a wonderful national championship, but we will have about 30,000 people in our city, which translates to about $22 million in economic impact. This is a win-win all the way around.
What makes the Colorado Sports and Prehistoric Park unique is a youth sports village near an archaeological dig and museum, hotels, and the town center retail. In the heart of it all will be a transit hub to take tourists downtown and to the airport. With the Commission's approval, this unique tourism venue can happen. The RTA allows construction of infrastructure far sooner than the normal build-out process. That means thousands of jobs are created faster, and a new revenue-producing tourism venue comes on sooner. Without the RTA, the Colorado Sports and Prehistoric Park will be competing with existing Denver attractions for the same finite pool of resources.
Economic development is all about wealth creation. We've known that for many, many decades in Colorado and have seen how it plays out, especially in tourism, because you have people from all over the world coming to Colorado to visit all of our cultural amenities, and they spend money, and that then gets circulated within our communities. So it's important that the infrastructure of culture and science and the arts is supported. It's a tough thing to do these days. With a recession, a lot of corporate support is very hard to get. A lot of foundations have turned their attention to core needs of the community. So cultural institutions sometimes can take a back seat. Building that kind of infrastructure then falls upon a heavily taxed philanthropic community to try and get the resources you need to move forward. But Denver has seen time and time again what it takes to really set a new stage for drawing new visitors into the state. Investments at places like the Museum of Nature and Science, and right now at the zoo and the Art Museum, and certainly at the Denver Botanic Gardens for the last several years, have highlighted what can happen with that kind of investment. Here we've put in new facilities, and our attendance has grown by 50%. Our membership has exploded. So we have to look for new ways of building cultural and scientific infrastructure to draw people into all of our communities. Lamb Spring is a great example down in Douglas County of a site that with just a little bit of investment could turn into a great draw for economic development, help build the resources to keep it scientifically important, and over time it's something that would easily make back that investment. So this idea of a regional tourism act is a really interesting one. It's coming at just the right moment in our history, and something that I think ought to be considered and supported.
In Douglas County, we have looked at things very differently as it relates to economic development and strengthening the economy and bringing jobs in. In this environment, we need to be much more creative. This RTA provides an opportunity to bring people together and work together in a way that brings infrastructure into the community that can create facilities that draws in tourism. We have to think outside the box. We have to do things a little bit differently, and I'm very excited about this opportunity with this RTA and what it can do for Douglas County and our citizens and bringing jobs into the area.